Hello, everybody. Welcome back to vidIQ, where today we are taking a look and reviewing your YouTube channels. You've been uploading videos. You're wondering what the heck is going on. I don't understand why I don't get as many views as I expect. Well, today we're here to help you answer that question, because we're going to be looking at your titles, your thumbnails, the way you've set up your channel, and hopefully give you some tips, some feedback that you can take with you, whether it's your channel or not. We're going to be looking at some random channels today, and there's going to be something for everybody to learn, regardless of what we're looking at. So before we get started, let's go ahead and welcome in Jeff. How's it going?
You're good, man. How you doing? I was double muted. I had to just be safe there.
Yeah, that's before the show you were just like cussing up a storm, so I totally get it. You just have that temper.
That's right.
You're the chillest person I think I've ever met, actually.
That's how I like to keep it, man.
Yeah, I think whatever mute button you have, you could just rip it right out. It won't matter.
Just to be on the safe side. You never know. There's noises around here. People like to mow lawns at random times. Like, they know when I go live, and then they start weed whacking outside of my window. So it's a good idea to keep it handy,
There he is. He's reviewing channels. Chainsaws.
That's it.
Thank you, everyone, for being here. We are, for the next 2 hours, going to be reviewing your channels. And the way this works never changes. But if you're new, here is a quick tutorial.
Welcome to the vidIQ channel reviews live stream. Simply fill in the correct form in the video description and your channel will be considered for review during a live stream. Channel reviews are free, so no need to send us a super chat, and don't spam us in the live chat. We'll ignore it and you may be put in timeout. After the live stream, don't forget to download the vidIQ extension, where you can get a custom channel audit, daily ideas, and an AI-powered video title generator. Link is in the description. If you submit your channel for review, expect the following. We are sharing nothing more than our knowledge, experience and passion as fellow creators. Thank you to all of our moderators who help us out on the live stream every week. You know who you are. Give us a like if you enjoy this live stream, subscribe if you love it, and share it with like-minded fellow creators. All right, let's get started.
All right, and I'm going to put a poll in chat right now. You can let us know, is this your first channel review live stream? That poll is there. The forms are linked down below. They are cleared every single week, so if you submitted last week, you will need to submit again. And as a quick little advertisement for tomorrow, we'll be live tomorrow looking at your videos. Today we look at the channels, tomorrow we look at the videos. So the stream starts at the same exact time, just tomorrow, just 24 hours from now. Cool. All right, Jeff, you seem excited. You seem ready to get started. Cool. All right, I'll take it. The first channel we're looking at is actually the one that managed to submit first on the non-gaming form. It is So the KDrama. I believe they said they were K-pop drama. So 111 subscribers. Let's talk about K-dramas and K-pop together. A new video every week. And, we're seeing some impressive things from this channel with only 8 videos. They have their latest one with 2.1K views. They have one here, I believe their most popular one, with 11,000 views. My 2022 K-drama ranking. Videos like this, I think, always perform really well.
Tier list ranking, listicles. Yeah.
People love to jump on that. So you're doing a lot of things really, really well. I would say for a month of progress on YouTube, you're kind of blowing us away. And I think you should be in our third slot today. It should be myself, Jeff, and you reviewing channels. I don't know what you think, Jeff. This one's really strong.
Yeah, especially for somebody just starting out. Obviously, it could be their first time, but I'm not getting first time vibes. But you never know. I mean, it feels strong because they have This is one of the things that a lot of people tend to make a mistake on, is not focusing on a particular topic or really aiming at a specific audience base, right? So they're really going after the K-drama, they're going after the K-pop viewers, which are, I would say, probably, it could be two separate groups of people, but I think they're close enough tied to where it can work, especially with the fact that there is some cross pollination between the two, because there are K-pop artists who actually act and show up on K dramas. So it makes a lot of sense. What I would be doing though is, because I'm seeing a lot of 2022 going on, and we're already at the end, or we're at the end of January. So I would probably be going into like what they did with this 5 must watch updated for 2023. I'd be doing something along those lines. Like, what are they most excited about? What are the most poppin' ones for February? Basically, that's something you could do on a monthly thing. But hey, here's the hottest ones going into February, and you can do a video like that. The only downside, what I'm seeing right here, is there is a little bit of consistency in the thumbnail designs. The font looks consistent in, I would say, 4 or 5 of them, but sometimes the color choices get a little weird. But that's the only thing. And then the last one, the Got the Beat boycott, with no backdrop, it's a very odd looking one compared to all the rest, because all the rest look like a screen grab.
Yeah.
So it has that screen grab vibe, but it actually looks good. Like, don't get me wrong. This is one of those times where the screen grab actually looks good.
Yes.
So this last one kind of doesn't mesh with the rest of the thumbnails on this channel.
And it might be that this is part of their thumbnail evolution. Like, maybe they don't want to do screen grabs anymore, which I think I would encourage. But it is quite the change. It doesn't seem to have impacted the views, I would say, in a negative way. So this is really good.
Yeah,
But
if that's what's happening, I'm all for it.
yeah, I think the reason we hesitate a little bit when we see thumbnails change this dramatically all of a sudden is that sometimes we notice that people will use something like Canva, for example, and they'll start to really play around with the different templates, and they never settle on one style. They just want, I'll try this one this week and this one next week. And so your channel looks like videos coming from like 10 different channels. So definitely want to make sure that you get a style, you get comfortable with something, you do it for a while, and make incremental improvements. Our thumbnails changed not too long ago, and I think we did it in such a way where the essence of our like thumbnail is still intact, even though visually they are a lot different. So that can definitely be a thing. But yeah, this is really cool. I want to see what they're doing with shorts real quick. It does seem as though they have experimented with shorts, nothing really taking off here. I do think that this framing makes it a little uncomfortable to watch. And they're doing, I would say this is like a shorts mistake that I see quite a bit. It's people who are using shorts as a way to get you to watch the longer version of the video. And when I see this, I worry. It works a little bit sometimes. What you want to make sure you do is your short is a self-contained piece of content. Because I always explain it this way. Imagine that the person who's watching on the short shelf is not currently interested in watching a long form video. And I think that's a fair assumption to make when you consider what mindset someone's in when they click the shorts button and then choose to watch shorts instead of longs. It's because they're looking for a quick fix. They're just looking to watch YouTube a little bit. They're looking to be served content and not think about their choices, right? So if they're looking to be served content, not think about their choices, and YouTube is doing all the work, here's a video, here's a video, here's a video, your video pops up. It basically asks them to do 2 things. 1, turn the sound on, which is kind of a big ask. And 2, watch the full video somewhere else. Even if that somewhere else is on YouTube, you're pulling them out of the experience they're currently in and trying to shove them into a different one that they're not right now ready for. So trying to make shorts for the shorts audience. Make, 15-second, 30-second videos that are really interesting and intriguing to that audience. And the next time they're ready to watch a long form video, if they've watched enough of your shorts, YouTube's going to push them to your long form videos. You don't have to beg them to come watch the long form videos. YouTube is trying to bridge that gap, and they're doing a good job. So that would be my advice for any shorts creators who are trying to use shorts this way. They're not a billboard. They're not a good way to advertise longer pieces of content. They're a great way to, advertise your entire channel because they help you introduce you to a lot of new people. But if you want those people to come to your channel, you got to give them an experience they remember. So that would be like a big shorts mistake I see. And just from the framing of this short right here and this one, I can tell you're kind of doing the same thing. So I would keep that in mind.
Yeah,
I would also try to avoid giant walls of text on your shorts. Sorry, what were you saying?
No, I'm saying they should be their own thing. So that's a mistake I see a lot of people make, and they'll ask me too, like, "Hey, how come my shorts aren't popping off?" I'm like, "You're treating shorts like ads for other
Yeah.
things. When people come to watch shorts because that's what they're trying to watch. Just like when they go on TikTok, they're trying to watch actual TikTok videos. They're not trying to watch a TikTok video that leads them to a YouTube video. It's just not the way that viewer action works. The beauty of getting them to watch one or more of your shorts now is that it puts your channel into their watch history. So now when you upload a regular video, there's a good chance that that video is going to get served to them. You have to think about, you want to play this, you want to play the long game here when it comes to this. So, because I've seen channels make that mistake. Now you can have videos like shorts that lead to your to your longer videos, but that it has to be its own piece. That's the most important thing that we want to make sure that we get that point across to you, that it should be its own standalone piece of content.
Yes, 100%. So there you go. There is So the KDrama. Thank you for submitting your excellent channel. Best of luck to you. You'll be at 1,000 subscribers, I think, in no time flat. Let's check out the first gaming channel now who managed to submit on the gaming form. There are 2 forms down below, and this one is the gaming form. This was the first channel that submitted. I think this channel, again, another really professional looking channel in terms of branding, in terms of channel focus. They play Phasmophobia. They are Lil P66. They have 262 subscribers, and they're doing a pretty solid job. There are some things I notice kind of right off the bat that make me realize why some videos aren't doing as good as others. Great example here is the purple thumbnail, kind of in the middle, the buffed thumbnail here. The new crucifix update is amazing. So there's a few things going on with this video. It's about a new update. So you're already building an audience that likes this game. So you have your regular viewers interested, but now you also pull in some new viewers because they're trying to learn about this update to this game they love. The thumbnail is very striking. You have a background that is kind of darker and ominous, but then you have bright elements on top. The crucifix has a green outline around it, so it's popping off the background. The text is green, so it's easy to read. I didn't even notice the red arrow at first because red stuff on thumbnails, especially like this, sometimes it gets lost. I'm going to go into that more in a sec because you use a lot of red text. But in this case, it works. All the elements here are working, and you kept it simple. I can tell this is a channel that watches these streams or videos or whatever it is we're making here at vidIQ, and they are like taking notes. They're taking our advice, whether or not we audit their channel. So this is really strong, and that's why it got over 1,000 views. Your follow-up videos continue to try different things, and I appreciate that. So the one right after, it says terrible. There's an arrow pointing at minus 80%. It's really hard to read that, though. Like this list of things you have here is so small, but it doesn't need to be, right? Like I see something is circled, and that's always like a good way to draw someone's attention to something small. But when it's text, like it's so hard to read that. But minus 80% seems like a significant number. So I would have just made that bigger, and you could have still had the same concept for a thumbnail, just that thing it's pointing at, it's just larger. This custom difficulty update is terrible. And, it got about 100 views. So it could be the thumbnail. Sometimes I wonder with titles like this, Jeff, did they give away their opinion a little too much? Sometimes we tell people, give them your opinion a little bit, but is this a controversial stance? Or does the community at large agree with you? If they agree with you, they might not have felt like they needed to watch the video. You could have maybe taken the opposite stance. And then maybe halfway through the video, pull the rug out. No, I actually hate it. But I don't know. What do you think when you see stuff like this, Jeff? I think they have a lot of the properties correct with this video. It just didn't do nearly as well as this previous update video.
Yeah, it's possible. Also, it could be, well, I guess theoretically it could be that people may not know what update that they're talking about. So that's a possibility. But I feel that it's more the thumbnail, the packaging that didn't sell it well enough. And I agree. It should have been really zoomed in on that piece. And even if they don't want to reveal what that is, they could have blurred that out. It's still, I think that's more than anything else is the packaging on this one might have been what hurt them. But I mean, it is what it is. So, but that's true. And I've seen that actually kind of go both ways because I've seen people where they agree with the general consensus of something being bad, but then they've also done a video playing devil's advocate and talking on the other side of it and have that video do even better.
Yeah.
So I've seen that, when they're kind of taking both sides of it. So, it could be worth some experimentation, but I think more than anything else is just really tightening up on the packaging of a video like this. That's really going to help them.
Yeah. I mean, you could have framed it as like how to fix the custom difficulty update. if there's a workaround, if you just have suggestions that the community can rally behind, all of those things would help. And I think get you some more clicks. The biggest thing about this channel, just from what I'm seeing here, has got to be the font that you've chosen on your thumbnails. I think this font is not great for a YouTube thumbnail. I would go so far as to say it's actually quite bad. It's because it's kind of thin to begin with. It's that, I don't know what style you would call this, because I'm not like a big font person, but
it's like stencil.
Stencil, maybe? Yeah. So it has these lines in the middle just as part of its style. Like look at the B in beginners. It has like a line through it for no reason. And the ends have extra lines through them, excuse me. And it's already kind of hard to read. But then on top of that, you like to use red text, which is just notoriously hard to read on thumbnails. I just don't know what it is about red text, but we see it sometimes. And every time we do, it's really difficult to read, regardless of the font choice. So if you're using red text on thumbnails, I would take a second look at that. In most cases, I would say it looks not good at this thumbnail-y size.
People try to get too fancy. That's the thing, right? We try to get too cute, too clever. And trust me, we all go through this. Right? One thing that I've learned is that the font itself is not important for it to be fancy. It's important for it to be freaking legible, right? That's the key. This is why I use big, bold, simple to read fonts in my thumbnails. That's the main reason for that, because I want you to be able to instantaneously know what it says. I don't want you to have to figure it out or have to struggle because of the color or because of a weird font choice or because it's freaking cursive or whatever might be going on. You guys are getting a little too fancy for yourself. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Don't confuse the viewer. Let them know exactly what it is. Boom. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. And you can use different colors, but I would probably avoid red in most instances. There are certain niches where it really does work, but not all of them. Not all of them. So just be careful with that. But normally, white text over darker backgrounds is always going to be a win. So,
yeah. And I will say this, to your credit, the backgrounds you're using, the way you cut out your characters for a horror game that takes place in the dark, you're doing a fabulous job.
Yes.
You are doing so good at getting people to see what the heck is going on. I can't tell you how many horror gaming channels we see where no effort is put into bringing up the brightness of anything. And I know that's not true to the game, but when it comes to YouTube thumbnails, you don't have a choice. Like, you have to get the message across. And if it takes using a character in your thumbnail to do that, then you better be able to make out what the heck that is. What is it I'm looking at? So really, really good job here. Just looking at the most popular videos real quick. You have one with 13,000 views, loadouts and new item shop guide and Phasmophobia. I mean, that's awesome. So yeah, stuff like this is really helpful too, because in video games, loadouts can be really complicated. Like, just the stuff that you're using for the round you're about to go into. Like, what's the most optimal setup that I can have? So if you can make more content like this, if there's more tips you have, I would definitely bring those to light. But yeah, another video about the crucifix in this game. I think that might be a topic you can jump on a little bit more. So there's a lot going on here that's right. And I think this channel is, destined for really great things. So cool. That was the first gaming channel they managed to submit on our form. Now, we are not just simply a bunch of videos and live streams. We have tools. We have a bunch of tools that you can download. You can try it for free. There's a link down below. Now, you have to promise me something. If you're going to use this link, you can't tell anybody about it. Okay? Like, this is for people who are watching the live stream. If you share this link, just know I'll be very disappointed in you for doing that. It is to our secret page. You can get all of our tools, our full suite of tools. You can try your first month for $1 for our boost plan. So there you go. Our full suite of tools, all the fun things. I'm going to show you one of those really cool tools here in a while. But yeah, just wanted to point that out. The link is down below. Tell nobody. This is what I'll show you later on. Okay, let's jump into the next channel.
And if they share it, they'll have to deal with me.
You poke your lens?
No, it just looks like it.
All right. So the next channel that was pre-selected was MilkyClay, which is a cool name. And honestly, a pretty cool channel. I chose this one, Jeff, because of the thumbnails. Look at this.
Awesome.
Yeah, this is some really strong stuff. So
Yeah.
this is I suppose an art channel, right? They're sculpting, and this is for an art channel, like awesome. They're kind of doing all the things we would suggest, right? Like, not only are they taking really really good pictures, they are using characters that are in popular culture, right? Like the penguin from the Mario movie. That a bunch of trailers going out for that. I have a feeling this video gets more popular the closer to the release of that movie. So we'll keep a lookout for that. There's a lot of characters here I don't recognize, but I'm, out of the loop. But one thing you could do is go to like most popular, and now you see Darth Vader, you see a Five Nights at Freddy's character, realistic creeper out of polymer clay.
Wow, that's creepy.
Yeah, the RTX thing was kind of a nice touch too. So this is again another really really strong channel. What are you noticing here?
No, I agree. I mean, one thing is these don't. So even though they might look to a layman like it's a screen grab, it's really I'm not getting that from this. I'm getting that they're putting their hand in it to kind of look, or they're holding the brush to kind of make it look like something. But these are very very well designed thumbnails. Like they're really taking their time, getting the lighting right, getting the framing right, getting the picture right. So there's a lot going into that as well. And I like also simplicity in most of the titles. Sometimes there's a couple of double titles going on. Didn't seem to hurt them for the most part, but like I made a penguin from Super Mario Brothers out of clay. I made realistic Minecraft sniffer out of clay. Like very, very straightforward. The smallest tank I've ever built. Things like that. Sculpting Denji, Chainsaw Man. So they made sure they included that for the searchability of that. But overall, I like what they're doing with the packaging and the choices of what they're doing. It would probably make sense, like they made Mike Wazowski 4 months ago. But was there anything going on with Monsters Inc. at the time, right? So sometimes I think those character choices, they might need to structure a little bit of that content, because if they're going to be doing popular characters anyway, I would try to time it with the releases of shows, events, whatever it might be. So when that search trend is already on the rise, you can hit them with a video that's on that topic at the right time. So timing is key for a lot of this stuff, because I think it has a lot of potential anyway. I think the only thing they're missing here is timing.
Yeah. Timing for sure. And I was also going to say, and this is just a theory, this is something for you to test out on your own. But when your thumbnail shows the finished product and shows it in such a way that's really clear, really easy to see, does it give viewers potentially a reason not to click? Because these are already very striking. And if I'm being honest with myself, I already kind of have an urge not to click, because I've seen the finished product. I know how it's going to turn out. Now, there is something said for the satisfying nature of watching this come together. I just wonder if you should show it in its halfway point, maybe, or I don't know, in such a way that gets people curious. So the creeper one's a good example. This thing is the finished product, it looks like, but it's also kind of hard to see, but in a good way, because it's really dynamic. Like it's a very detailed clay sculpture. So if you want to get a really good look at this, you're going to have to click the video. And I think that was working in this video's favor. But it's a theory. I could be way off. It's something worth testing. We're always encouraging people to test. If you're looking to get more views and you're concerned that maybe your thumbnails give a little too much away, can you maybe test it out? I don't know. I would say like one place where this didn't do you that much justice was here. For some reason, you felt compelled to show the front and back of this creation you made. And it's hard now, like they're both images here overlapping each other, and it's hard to see, So I kind of wonder if this was like the opposite effect, where now it's like, oh, this is too hard to make, my eyes can't like make sense of it, so I'm gonna kind of like glaze over it.
Yeah, I agree. Sometimes we get a little too fancy in some of the shots. Even with the penguin, how they show the front and back, maybe they just want to make sure that the detail was included. But with the one specifically with the sniffer, I get what you're saying, because for me, unless I really looked at it closely, like when I zoomed in, then I could really tell what it was. But at a glance, it was very difficult to make out what I was looking at, as opposed to the tank, which I can easily see. The bananas, Mike Wazowski, easy. Chainsaw Man. I mean, that stuff is easy that I can tell. But that's the only one that kind of threw me a little bit.
Yeah. So just a couple places for you to go there. I also think your channel is going to be really primed up for shorts. And I think I'm right here. I mean, you have like thousands of views on these already, which is really cool to see. And it looks like, are these shorter versions of the longer video? It's hard to tell. It looks like these are the finished product, which is interesting. Like modeling it like that's pretty cool. Have you tried making these but speeding it up? So take the long video, take chunks of it out, you basically do a speed build of the character for shorts. I think that's something worth trying if you haven't already, because I think these shorts could get a lot more views too. It looks like this might be some of that, like you have sculptures kind of coming together. I kind of think this would be more compelling if this part was the first thing I saw. Like, oh, what are they doing? Like, I see fingers and I see a lot of detail. What are they making? And slowly watching come together. Like, again, showing the finished product for the first shot of the short, I think might have taken away a little bit of intrigue.
Possibly, yeah, possibly. If anything, I mean, you can always loop it, you know what I mean? But yeah, I would probably not have that at the very first shot of it. But Guido, man, it's freaking Guido. I love it.
So there you go. There's MilkyClay, another pre-selected channel of ours, and we'll move on to the next one. I believe this was one of your picks.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So tell us about John Nuer. I hope I'm saying their name right.
That was new to me, man. I just picked them at random. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. So John's channel here, what really caught me by surprise was seeing that somebody had a good channel focus as far as what the content that they're talking about, right? So what we're talking about here are one wheels. And that's the audience that he's aiming for, are people who either want to get one wheels or already have one wheels. And he's talking about the different tips, tricks, stuff like that, doing some comparisons. See, 12 days ago, he has like which battery wins. So he's got a versus video up there, how to put studs in a one wheel tire, the ultimate guide. So things of that nature, very useful in that sense. But one thing you do see here, and is quite a bit of experimentation when it comes to thumbnails, which I like to see. It looks like like they're progressing. Some of them were a little bit not too great, but they've been getting better over time. Newer channel, but this is the kind of thing that you're going to see on channels like this. I think with the one of how to put studs in a one-wheel tire, to me, that one really was probably one of the more striking ones because of how simple it is. You see the tire, you see the studs, he's kind of reacting to it. Whether he needs to be in it, that's up for debate, but still, it still works. Some of the latest one, I don't like the fact that it's so dark, like the picture of the person. I don't understand why it's so purple. So that's maybe it's a screen grab from the actual video, but if you're going to put yourself in, so that's got to be a screen grab for the video. What you got to do is, if you want to include yourself in the thumbnails, I would suggest doing a photo shoot of you doing different reactionary faces. And that way you can put those in and not have to take a purple screenshot of yourself, because it's not doing you any favors, to be completely honest. And then also the text on there, John, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, Winter Setup. I don't think you need to have your name in there. Right. It could just be, or yourself, to be completely honest. It could just be the one wheel with Winter Setup. Yeah.
Winter Setup's in the title as well. So, I mean, you don't even necessarily need that. Like,
true.
It could be you holding the one wheel, so it takes up all the thumbnail. You're behind it, and then it just says, winter prep or something a little more clear. Just again to help the audience like get that light bulb moment of like, oh, that's what this is about. Yeah. This is not video review day. That is tomorrow. But I have to say, when I scrolled over this, I noticed something that we definitely want to talk about. It is your lighting.
Yeah.
You have a really cool set here, but you have not given yourself a key light. At least if you have, it's invisible to us. Like it's actually not present. So I like the room. I like the blue and purple lighting. I think it's pretty nice. But we gotta light you
Yeah.
now.
You don't want to be like this, right?
Yeah,
This is a little too dramatic, right? It's a little too dramatic. So, but that's one light. But at least with that, you can still kind of see me. It's just too dramatic. So then I hit this one, and then we're all filled in. So I like the aesthetic of that, of the color choices you're going for. But we got to be able to see you, man. Like,
yeah, this is what we're rocking now. We're just,
Yeah.
I got my backlight set up. I'll buy another light later. It's not a big deal.
Yeah.
Light yourself.
Yeah.
Lighting can be a whole thing, and this is something I feel like we don't talk about enough on a lot of our content, but video reviews especially as well. Lighting is just one more skill that you have to learn. It's not just lighting, it's thumbnail design, it's video editing. There are skills that go along with being a YouTuber. You guys can sit here and you can watch 12 hours of us auditing channels. Just put it on a playlist and just let it go. And you could watch the whole thing all the way through and take all the notes you want. But at the end of the day, there comes a point where you have to invest some time in some other education as well. Understanding how YouTube works is one tiny step of the process. It is not the whole thing. Like, you also have to get good at the other stuff that goes along with it too. Like, you can know everything about YouTube. If you can't mechanically do the things to make your videos better, then you're going to still be stuck. So try to find a balance between YouTube education and YouTube education. But they're two different things. Education about YouTube and education for YouTube, if that makes sense. Yeah. Video editing, lighting, whatever you're struggling with.
Exactly. And then for John, one thing I really also like, and I hope that they continue to focus on, because it could be that they're doing this intentionally, it could be that they just stumbled upon it, but continue making content that's valuable to people who are either, one, looking to get into the one-wheel hobby, or two, are beginners in the one-wheel hobby. Like, really getting after those people, because that's going to be your largest group of people that you can target within this particular niche. So making stuff that really helps them, whether it's, tips and tricks for snow, tips and tricks for summertime, tips and tricks for when it's raining, whatever it is, whatever ideas, this better than I do, because I'm not a one-wheel rider. I'm not in that niche. You know this better than me. But coming up with those ideas where you can give people really practical help on what makes them better or what can give them more enjoyment out of that hobby is really going to be the key to providing that level of value.
Yeah, absolutely. So there you go. I think those are some good tips for John right there. There's obviously not a ton of videos on your channel, and you're doing really, really good. I mean, 3 months, hundreds of views, some with thousands of views. Mm-hmm. This is, again, like, we're seeing a lot of really strong channels today in the pre-selected bit, but also a lot of areas for improvement. And I love that you're trying shorts too. Guys, listen. Oh, wait, wrong one. Here, hold on. Tomorrow is Shorts monetization day. Okay, if you are partnered already on YouTube, you can already get eligible for monetization on your shorts. Just sign their new agreement, all their terms. Yes, exactly. And if you are a partner and you're not making shorts, find a way to do it. Figure it out. Like, huge opportunity right now. Tomorrow, shorts views, I believe it's tomorrow. They said beginning of February. I feel like they're being like deliberately not super clear, just in case something goes horribly wrong. You know, but we expect that tomorrow's the day. So get ready to get rich.
No, but you see the shorts here, right? They're not exactly the same of the type of content that he's doing in his long form.
They're interesting though.
But thank you. Exactly. There's still something that would be interesting to the one-wheel viewer, but it's still its own kind of standalone piece of content. So good strategy there.
You can do this. Like, if you're thinking, well, my shorts need to be similar to my long form videos, it's okay if they're this level of similar. I would say this is different than the long form videos, but it makes sense coming from this channel, right? It makes a lot of sense. I would say doing a video with you and your friends, like I played the world's largest game of one-wheel hockey. Like, just imagine that. Like, just imagine the kind of video. Like, I love that you're doing it in shorts. I think that could be a whole story-driven long-form piece of content too. So they could take what's working in shorts and move it over to longs if they want to. But this is still like, this is exactly what I would want to see from a channel like theirs, experimenting with shorts, and they're getting thousands of views on these. They're doing a lot of really awesome things, and I can just tell by looking at these stand on their own. They're not pieces of content that tell you, hey, go watch the long version over here. These are just like standalone, hey, shorts audience, here's something fun to watch. So great job. Really great job. All right. The next pre-selected channel is D&A Mudlarking. This is one I picked. They are seeking out hidden history. I thought this was kind of interesting. Mudlarking was not a term that I've heard of before, but I immediately recognized it as, this is not their term. This is something that like must exist in like a corner of YouTube I've never heard of, and it does. So we're going to take a look at that in a minute. But I wanted to show you, Jeff, like this channel and maybe get your thoughts on it. I kind of know how I feel. I feel like titles and thumbnails are simple, but I'm not getting that why answered for me. Why should I watch the video? This seems like an endearing pair that goes on adventures together sometimes, but then sometimes they're just kind of at home sorting beads, you know, just doing different things. And I feel like it's a great channel for, hey, we just want somewhere to document our lives, our travels, things like that. But in terms of the audience value, I'm kind of missing that from this channel, at least on the surface, and only from like some of these videos. Are you seeing anything like that?
Yeah, and I mean, there's still obviously just like, and I'm sure you picked this channel for the fact that there's still some work that needs to be done. There's still some potential that needs to be done. And to be clear, I had no idea what mudlarking was. That's a term I've literally never heard. So I'm just like, okay, cool. I'm still kind of not sure exactly what it is, but one thing I can tell you right now is the first thing I pick up on is the thumbnails are very wordy, with the exception, I would say, of the last 3. You know, a lot of the rest of them are very wordy. Some of the older ones are obviously worse. It seems like they have been making some improvements, but you know, stuff like we have 2023 Mudlarking. I'm looking at the furthest one, top corner on the right, and then finally back out searching for treasures. It's just, there's just too much text there. It just, you know, searching for that treasure. Cool. I mean, it's very simple, easier to understand. But that's one of the things I would definitely want them to work on is, does it need text in the thumbnail? And if it does need text, how can we keep it simple? Not use the exact same wording that's in the title, but give me a reason to click. Did you find something? Something just, you know, to get me to want to click on this without me having to read, you know, a bunch of words.
Yeah, that was my biggest thing. Like, and then searching for that treasure. It's not even clear to me that this is a mudlarking video. And it kind of looks like it could be, you know, about anything, really. It's like treasure in what context. So I wanted to show you, just by typing in mudlarking, some of your competition. So we have a video here. What is mudlarking? But we have one here. 73,000 views. Mudlarking at the is it Thames? I don't know how to say that, but forgotten artifacts reveal their stories. I'd say the thumbnail here is very, very, very like simple. It's just someone in their gear, but the title is really clear, and it has mudlarking in the title. Some of these other ones, 50,000 views. We actually have something in the thumbnail like that's intriguing and interesting to us here. Can you see it? So there's like a find in the thumbnail. This one that we found so much, and they're kind of like obscuring like what it is that they found. These aren't even like the greatest examples, I think, in the world of thumbnails, but the big difference between these thumbnails and titles versus the channel we were looking at is that they are putting a lot more forward in terms of what is going to be in the video. Like, we found something, and they kind of show what they found, or one piece of what they found, or they hide a little bit of it with like a clever graphic. So there's like a lot of things they're kind of getting their audience excited about, and they're teasing. And I wanted to give you another example that I saw today. Ryan Trahan had a video that just came out today. I excavated a fossil site. Now, this is not a mudlarking video, but as soon as I saw this channel, I was reminded of this video, which I watched over lunch today. You know, it's a video about him finding fossils. And so what did he do? It's him in the thumbnail with a fossil buried halfway into the ground and one word, extinct, which I don't even think needs to be there. Now, I'm not saying that your thumbnails need to suddenly overnight be the level of professional that Ryan Trahan and these massive YouTubers have. Like, they have like potentially teams of people helping them. So I'm not trying to hold anyone to this standard, but it's a good example of where you can aim. It's a good example of what you can do to try and like figure out, well, how am I going to improve my thumbnails? This couldn't be more clear. Without reading the title, I already get a sense for what's going to happen in the video. He's going to be looking for fossils. I don't even have to read the title to know that. So I think compared to the other mudlarking videos we saw, and those are like your current direct competition, and then the pinnacle of YouTube, the Ryan Trahans of the world, there's a lot of room for improvement here on your thumbnails and your titles. Once you get that down, and once you start to actually like target that mudlarking audience consistently, I think you're going to see your views blow up. I think everything's going to change for you overnight. But I would also avoid the temptation of doing these videos that are not about mudlarking. If your channel is going to be about mudlarking, you're advertising it in the banner, you're telling people you should definitely subscribe because we do this, and then sometimes you're doing this, sometimes you're doing this. So, like, sometimes you're not going out and doing the things. What I discover about these finds is this is a mudlarking video, but to me it looks like a video about opening presents because you're indoors and there's holiday decorations around. So there's a lot of like confusion in your content. I think even your regular viewers probably find your videos a little confusing sometimes.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Bouncing around like that is always gonna create that sort of an issue, which is fine because we don't know what we don't know, right? And I'm not sure how old this channel is, but I'll tell you right now, in my first year, I really had no idea what I was doing. And I was just bouncing all over the place, not really understanding, one, how YouTube really works, two, not really focusing on an audience. And that can really, it can hinder your growth, but it's not something that you can't rectify. So right. It's definitely something you can course correct as needed.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll look at the next channel.
Oh, before we do that.
Oh.
We got to hit these super chats, man.
Oh, fine. I guess if everyone wants to give us super chats, we should probably respect them.
But let me put this up here real quick just to make sure. Bam. There we
Bam. Go. Super chats. They are not for buying channel reviews.
Correct.
We are sorry it doesn't work that way. Okay, so we have 2,500 subscribers. They are just not watching. Why? Stuck at 1180 watch hours. Our shorts get 2,000 views easy. One is at 155,000 views. Long videos, lucky to get 200 views. So this could be a lot of things. Without looking at the channel, really, really hard to know. But out of all the channels you looked at today so far, for one, this is for our road less traveled. Do you feel like there was anything in there that you could be doing? The channel we just looked at, for example, likes to deviate from their main topic a lot. And so they're building an audience. They have 400 subscribers, but only 100 people are watching their videos. Why is that? Well, sometimes their videos are about the thing they said the channel was about, and sometimes they're not. So are you getting subscribers from videos that people are like, oh, I associate our road less travel with these types of videos, but then you're not serving those types of videos. You're changing up your strategy. It could be that. The fact that you mentioned shorts getting this many views and longs getting not as many views, that's a very common problem. If you're starting to grow with shorts, you're going to see that happen. It's not something I want you to get discouraged by because shorts are a completely viable way of making content, a great way of making content. And I think your growth trajectory is just going to be a little bit different. If you are growing primarily with shorts and you're still making long form videos, you're still growing. It's just the audience you're catering to maybe just likes shorts more, period, end of story. They might literally just like short form video. They have, if you like making that content, they have every right to watch your content and not watch the long form videos. And that's okay. Yep. Because again, shorts is a viable way to grow a channel. It's completely a legitimate channel. If you grow your channel using shorts, that does not make you a lesser YouTuber. You are still a fantastic YouTube channel. So Don't get too discouraged by that imbalance. Those are just some words of encouragement, Jeff. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, it could be anything. Like I said, because we don't have their channel, we're not looking at it. It could be things like their shorts that blew up were on a completely different topic than what their long form stuff is. I've seen that so many times where they're just throwing up these random shorts on a channel that's not targeted. They're not targeting their audience still with the shorts. Those shorts blow up. They're bringing in the wrong types of viewers. Then when they upload a regular video on their normal topic, those new viewers don't care about that topic. So they're getting lower views. And that's because you shot yourself in the foot. So you have to be careful with that. But like I said, I'm not accusing them of that because we don't know what we don't know. So, but just like Dan said, and I totally agree, you can totally grow a viable channel with shorts. there's no reason why you can't do that. So, but yeah, but thanks for that $10 super chat. Next one we have is from that epic developer, $2, just saying hello. Thank
Hello.
you.
Thanks.
And then the next one came from EV Pulse. Can editing a thumbnail, title, description of an old video that's no longer generating traffic revitalize that video? It can. But here is the key. It has to still be relevant.
Yes.
Right? So it has to still be relevant, because I've done this before. Like, this is something that I've done before, especially with like evergreen videos where literally it was just the packaging that was holding it back. Then it can still work. But let's say this is old news, like you have a news channel and it's news that was from 2 years ago, and you upgrade the title and thumbnail, but nobody cares about that topic anymore. It's not going to help you. So it has to still be relevant. That's the key. But yeah, totally can do that.
Yeah, I was trying to find a video where we definitely did a case study on that exact topic, but I can't find it now. It was a while ago now, sometime last year. We noticed that Mr. Beast, or I think it was pointed out to us on social media, Mr. Beast had updated some old titles and thumbnails of some old videos, and those videos were still relevant. You know, they just kind of died. They hit their ceiling, but his thumbnail style had changed and improved. And so we updated the thumbnails, and just using our own tools, we could see the spike in views. You know, we had our panel on the side. They're showing us it did nothing, and then it did everything. And it was right at the same time the thumbnail changed. So that can happen. It's not guaranteed, but it can definitely happen. I'm currently in the process of digging through some of our videos. We've in the past done some reoptimizing. I haven't checked on those videos in some time, so I'm in the process of going back and trying to figure out, okay, what reoptimizations took and what ones didn't, because I would like to do a video of our own where we experiment with this stuff, because we do it all the time. We just, you know, we just kind of like do it and then walk away, because there's no sense in doing it and staring at your video and like, okay, all right, get views. It could take months still after you reoptimize a video for it to like go anywhere.
Yep.
So do it, feel confident in the choices you're making, and step away. And keep making content, keep making new videos with all the things you've learned about YouTube. Don't get too hung up on the old stuff, but you can absolutely have old videos, you know, blow up like that.
Oh, whoops. Sorry.
Hoping to get reviewed today. Almost 2 months watching every live stream. You guys are the best. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Good luck. My last video is getting a lot of views through the end screen. So you're getting 2,000 views from end screens. That's really good. It stopped getting views from recommendations. Could the end screen affect the overall performance of the video? I would say no. If that's happening, Jeff, I feel like this is a case of you are catering your content to your current viewers, and they really like you and they love what you're doing, but you're not doing enough to bring in new viewers. The topics you're covering are really strong for them. They like it, but you're not catering to a new viewer. And the classic examples I've seen of that, because I see it's a Dota channel, so it's a gaming channel, is when you take on a series of videos where they're like episodic, and it's just like me playing Dota part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4. That's great for your current viewers, but those videos don't attract new viewers because there's no inherent value. There's no reason to watch. So take a look at the type of videos you're making and figure out which ones you can make for new viewers, figure out which ones you can make for your returning viewers. That feels like that's what's going on there. I think it has nothing to do with your end screens at all. But that's really good. That's really good numbers from end screens. That means you're doing really strong calls to action to another video. Let's take a look at this one, and we'll go back to reviewing channels. It's Lil P. We looked at this channel earlier. Thanks again. Improving thumbnails is my goal.
Yep.
Awesome.
Nice.
Best of luck. All right. We have more super chats. We will get to them in a little bit, but we have some more channels to look at in the meantime. Starting with this, Snow Family Racing. I think this is one I picked. I thought it was pretty cool. They said in their forum post, if I remember right, they do how-tos on classic cars. And right there was kind of like my first alarm bell, because while that is very niche, I'm afraid it's a little too niche for like a channel that's coming to us and saying, all right, now I want to grow. We'll see if Jeff disagrees with me here, but my theory is that if you're doing very specific tutorials on very specific old cars, you are catering to such a fraction of people, right? Like people who like classic cars, people who like classic cars from the 1960s, people who like classic cars that happen to be the Buick Rivera, people who like classic cars from the 1960s that happen to the Buick Rivera that actually own one and have this very specific problem with the car right now. That's like how far you've niched down. So I think these are still helpful because it's still over 100 views. It's still like a good thing to help people fix parts. And maybe this fix can apply to a lot of different classic cars. I don't know anything about classic cars. So yeah, cool. Even if all of those things are true, I think this channel should be roping in other styles of content. You have some pretty sweet cars. Why not show just builds coming together? Why not show before and afters? You know, to talk about how you acquire these cars. Like, you could have a whole car channel here about these classic cars, and it doesn't have to be exclusive to fixing very specific cars, very specific broken parts. I think it can be all one channel, one healthy ecosystem of classic car content. I'm basically saying niche out, which is not something I say that often. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, so I mean, it could be that they just working on the stuff that they have access to. That could be kind of what's going on here and why we're seeing like repairing this particular piece on this car, repairing that particular piece on that car, kind of as it comes up. But that's an evergreen play. Those videos will for sure get views by the specific people that need that particular problem, but not really a good way to grow the channel per se, because they're going to get the information they need and they're going to dip.
Yeah.
Because unless your next video is about the next part on that exact same vehicle, it's not really going to be interesting to them. You know what I mean? So like, if it's, you know, let's say the next video is not on a Buick Riviera, you know, it's on a different vehicle. It's not going to matter to them. So that's one thing where you kind of have to be careful with, because a lot of this is evergreen, super useful, very valuable content. Like, it's high value for sure. But it's just not anything that's, I don't think it's going to push you forward that much unless, one, you bring across a lot of personality, and two, you're regularly creating these videos around that particular vehicle.
Yeah. Thumbnails definitely need some work. I can tell they did try with this video here, how to prioritize your automotive projects and stay on track. 3-minute video. I can see the value in this video, right? Like, if you're somebody who does a lot of projects with cars and you're finding yourself disorganized, I can see this being a video for you. And I'm sure a lot of car owners can relate to this, but the pitch is all wrong. It's not explaining itself well, and it starts with a thumbnail. What you've chosen to do is take a picture of a book, some boxes, inside the hood of a car. You open the hood of the car and you use it as a table, and that's how you took the picture. So there's a lot of textures here, right? There's the boxes, there's the book, there's the engine and all the little intricate details in there. So, and everything's in focus. Like, there's nothing blurred out at all. Like, the car is in focus, the grill is in focus, the text is in focus. So it just looks like some colors on a screen to people just kind of scrolling by. It's hard to get people to like stop on that and understand what you're trying to say. So I think it would have been better if it was just you. Maybe there's a car blurred out behind you and you're holding a wrench or a box of tools or something like that. And then the title was about organizing. Now, automotive projects, interesting way to put it. What's a cleaner way to say that? What's a simpler way to say that? Your garage, you know, your workflow. I don't know, whatever. You're the car person, not me. So whatever you feel like, whatever buzzwords you can use that relate to your everyday, you know, classic car mechanic. Try to simplify that title, because I think how to prioritize your automotive projects and stay on track is just a very jumbled, specific way to say something that's probably way more simple. So keep playing with your titles and thumbnails, because that's going to be the game changer for you, whether you continue to do these very specific tutorial videos or these more broad videos where you're trying to cover a wider audience. So there we go.
Yeah, I agree. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they do. Hopefully they can kind of keep that together, because I love my automotive channels. You know, I love channels like this. But it's tough, you know, when we're just doing repairs and stuff like that. It doesn't do much to kind of keep me there as a viewer. But you'll see that you can have an automotive channel and have a little bit of variety in there as well in the type of content that you make. So, but yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing kind of how they pull it off, because they're getting there, man. You know, I'd say 200 more subs ago and they'll be at that 1K.
Yeah, and it's good they're making long form content, because you have some shorts with a lot of views here. I would keep this up as well. And once you get monetized through your long form videos, meaning 4,000 hours, you're not worried about 10 million shorts views. Get your 4,000 hours, get your 1,000 subs. These will be monetized as well. So starting February. So get ready. Wheel Spins 360. Now, this is a car channel that you chose, but I'm jealous because yours is more colorful than my choice was.
It's a car channel, but technically it's a toy channel.
It's a car channel. Come on, show some respect for them.
But yeah, no, but I picked it because first of all, it came across very it popped. You know, it really kind of popped off the screen at me when I first came across it. I was like, wow, okay. Only 5 videos so far. I believe I didn't check if they had done any shorts yet. Not sure if they did or didn't. But what really struck me here is it feels like they've been paying attention because the thumbnails don't look weak. You know what I mean? There could be a little bit of optimization there in and of itself, like cleaning up the backgrounds, like on this unboxing one, the second to last video. It's very busy. You can tell that it's like blurred out cars, but it's just very busy. So something a little bit cleaner.
It's the glow around the car. It should have been like a shadow.
Right,
you
exactly.
have a white background and they have a white glow in the car. So
it doesn't separate.
Really, it's not separating.
Yeah, so that's kind of the thing. But overall, and even then, I took the time, watched a couple of the videos to kind of see how they did their intros and stuff, and very, very catchy. So this is one of the things where I'm really liking what they're doing because they're very focused on the packaging of the content. That's one of the things that I like to see. Like you won't believe what I found, unboxing new Hot Wheels. Can you spot the rare error? Did you catch it? So they're going with a lot of the questioning titles, which I like. But like I said, very new. Like this channel is less than a month old. Already pulled in 30 subscribers, so they're doing very well. Look at the view counts on a channel with 30 subs. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 1.3K views in their first video 2 weeks ago.
Yep.
Just for anyone out there who's ever said the words, "Well, YouTube doesn't like small channels,"
or that's why I brought this channel
that way. That like we see this all the time. We see this literally all the time where YouTube does indeed give views to a brand new channel that starts from nothing, no content or anything. Boom, 1.3K views. Why? Because they targeted a very specific audience and they gave them value. Unboxing $2 Hot Wheels. Can you believe the deals I found?
Yeah.
Well, if you collect Hot Wheels, then you're probably going to watch because you're also out there looking for deals.
Exactly.
What did they find for $2?
Yeah. And this is there's so much going right that I have a lot of hopes for this channel. For me, all the only thing that's missing here is time. That's literally all that's missing here, because if they can keep this cadence up at this quality level, getting these kind of views, there's no reason this channel is not going to monetize in less than a year. There's no reason for that, because if they come out of the gate this strong, I'm really liking that. I'm really liking what I'm seeing. And once again, a channel like this proves a point that if you're focused on a target audience and you have good packaging and the content itself is not trash, like the guy's actually entertaining, he has a good voice. So it can really work well. You can really have a channel move forward in a very positive way when you're taking things a bit more seriously. You're putting a bit more time and effort into actually focusing on that target audience.
Let me just take a look real quick. They are doing shorts. Not as many views, but they're just starting. They're just starting to get the stuff done. I like the little turntable they have. Tell me a story. I would try that next. You can still use this cool fancy turntable, but talk about where you found this car, how much it cost, why it matters, why that's such a good deal, and start with a question. Start like really intrigue the shorts audience that scrolls to your short and go like, did you know that you can find Hot Wheels anywhere? Do you know you could find Hot Wheels for $1? Whatever. Or you could start with just a really like mind-blowing fact, like I got this and 100 other Hot Wheels for $10, and just blurt it out. Like, what if the title and the thumbnail of a short is just the first few seconds, then what is the most impactful thing you could just say out loud to get someone to stop scrolling? Like, that's how you really got to think of shorts. And so I think this channel has a lot of shorts potential here. They just haven't quite found it yet, but they will. They absolutely will. And are you using the community tab? You are. As of 6 days ago, you posted. So this is awesome to see as well. I'm going to give a couple of community tab tips right now. This is the kind of post I want to see from you. Week 1, starting my Hot Wheels collection, and then you just give some story. Love it. You gave a whole wall of pictures. Love that. This is relevant to me if I'm your audience. If I'm your audience of Hot Wheels collecting fans, this makes sense to me on your community tab. This makes sense to me on your community tab. Got this nice little find here, 3 pounds. Excellent. When you post videos like this, and it still looks like it's this way to this day, we don't understand why it's like this. You can post a video on the community tab. You can post a link. It'll look like this. When people find this scrolling through YouTube, it looks like any other video. It doesn't even look like a community post. These, for some reason, tend not to go anywhere. We generally advise against these types of posts. I hope one day YouTube changes this because I like posting videos to my community tab, but they don't get any traction whatsoever. They get no likes. They get no reach, it seems. So I would avoid posts like this. And then posts like this, this is the only place I ever want to see you celebrating a subscriber milestone on your channel. I don't want to see 100 subscribers video. I don't want to see 1,000 subscribers video. As the audience, I don't care. That's my very bitter take on this subject. But your community tab's a great place to put that.
Yeah, I agree. I agree completely.
But don't overdo it. Less about you, more about your audience. Once in a while, totally fine. But I want to see, for every post that's about you, I want to see 5 more about your audience. So I would post on this a little more consistently. Try some polls out. Ask people about different Hot Wheels they have. Understand when it comes to YouTube or just, anything in life, job interviews, whatever it might be, people love to talk about themselves, So if you ask your audience a question about them, you're going to get some interaction. People are going to be happy to tell you about it. And feel free to interact even further from there. Respond to their comments because you're going to build a really strong community from that. But more so, you're also going to be getting likes. You're going to be getting comments. You're going to be getting engagement on that post, which helps its reach. So, and then one more tip about community tabs. Did you know on mobile, if you're not subscribed to a channel, community posts that pop up on your feed will have a sub button about right here. There'll be a subscribe button. So if you post content that's relevant to the videos you make and to the audience that would like this kind of content, they might subscribe from a community post. I've looked at the data. We actually have subs from our community posts. That's a thing that happens.
Yep,
yeah,
same.
It's not a ton, but it happens. So when people are like, why would I even make a community tab post? Well, who cares? What does it matter? You can get subs. You can actually grow your channel this way. So there we go.
Yeah. And all of them count. Each and every one count. So yeah. Mm-hmm. Did we have another pre-selected or did you want to do some super chats?
One more pre-selected, then we'll do some super chats.
Cool.
This one, I believe, comes from Twitter. I neglected to ask exactly the context of this, but Viper on Twitter has been hosting various challenges to get people involved, and we will give away a channel review to the winner of those challenges. So I don't have the tweet in front of me or anything that I presume won this person a Twitter challenge, but if you're not following us over there, there you go. There's a reason to. They are Attention Horror with 17,000 plus subscribers, and they are doing Star Wars content. Really strong thumbnails, really strong titles. I want to just go straight to most popular. What happened when Darth Vader met Darth Maul? 3.7K views. How did Darth Vader find Padme's grave? So a lot of different Star Wars lore, a lot of things going on here. What are your first thoughts?
Yeah, I like what I'm seeing because it feels like they are focused on that viewer, right? On that fan, that Star Wars fan that's going to want to know more about the lore or any of that sort of stuff. And there's a lot. There is a lot to unpack there when it comes to Star Wars and all the other storylines that surround it, whether it's canon or non-canon. So I kind of like the way that they're going, and I like the strength of these thumbnails. And even then, we have this tweet as a backdrop for the thumbnail, the second one here, kind of serves as a reminder to the other channel where we said that they should zoom in on that text. That's sort of kind of what we were talking about with that. But overall, I mean, I like what I'm seeing. The packaging is excellent. I'm not sure exactly what kind of filter they're putting on these pictures, but it looks really good. The art of Ahsoka here looks amazing. She looks amazing. And then also all the way on the side with Count Dooku, it looks like an oil painting kind of sort of. So I like what they're doing packaging wise. It's very, very good. Topic wise as well. Some of this stuff does, performs a little bit better than others. The depressing downfall of Star Wars, which is quite interesting that one took off as well as it did.
Yeah.
Interesting.
That's I think a good topic to cover right now, because I've seen this as like a topic people are talking about. I like Star Wars, but I'll admit, like, just from a personal standpoint, was not a big fan of Boba Fett. I was looking forward to that series, and I did not. For about the first half of it, I'm not going to spoil anything for anyone who wants to watch it. For the first half of it, I was bored. Like, I just found it very boring. So when I see a video like that, and I remember that feeling I had from watching the show, spending all my time watching the show, I'm like, oh, maybe that has something to do with why that show stunk so bad, and I'm inclined to watch. So if you pick up on something while you're, watching the media you cover on your channel, don't be afraid to go out there and express your opinion. This might be backed up by like some actual data. That kind of, even if people disagree with you, that's still good, because now that's interaction. That's a conversation starting in your comments.
Yeah, I agree. And then, some of the view counts on this stuff is a little bit on the low side, relative to sub count. And it could just be because of the timing of it. And that's a big thing, especially when it comes to Star Wars stuff.
Yep.
Whenever we're just talking about the different topics, when we're outside of trend, or when we're outside of the time where people are actually talking about it a lot, sometimes we'll see views suffer a little bit because of that. So that's something we have to kind of be, mindful of timing wise. Some topics will work all the time because there's inherent popularity, like in a character called Darth Vader, or just having that character in the thumbnail is very recognizable. But just sometimes other topics just aren't going to pop, and that's just something that you have to be mindful of. In my own niche, timing is incredibly important. I've seen people, try to say, it doesn't matter, I've got a ton of subs, I can talk about whatever I want, but you're talking about a product that dropped a year ago. You can't complain when you don't get any views, when the actual customer base have already moved on from that. When it launched, that's when the hype was around. But a year later, not really. So just something to think about. Timing is always going to be incredibly important when it comes to YouTube channels and the kind of content that you make.
Yep. So yeah, a lot of really cool stuff here. I'm trying to think of advice I could leave this channel with, because we kind of just praised it a lot. Are they doing shorts? They are doing shorts. That's really good to see. And it looks like they're using captions. I'll give you one little piece of advice about captions. This probably doesn't matter too much because you did raise them a little bit, but if your captions are too low, and I would say this lower third of the short, depending on the device you're watching, all this junk that YouTube puts at the bottom can cover up. See, it's kind of doing on a desktop. All this title and stuff can cover up, especially on mobile, a lot of your captions. So just something to keep in mind, just a little shorts pro tip. I prefer captions closer to the center or even at the very top. Both places much better, actually readable. So just a little thing there. But some of these shorts have a lot of views, and I think you're implementing storytelling. You're just telling Star Wars fans about something cool, getting a lot of views on these, crazy amounts of views on some of these, 194K. Keep going with shorts. Awesome to see.
Yeah. The other thing I was going to say is I don't know if they're doing a lot of ranking or listicles around this stuff, but that's another way where you can really pull in some evergreen views on whether it's the top 5 villains, the top 5 droids, or whatever. But stuff like that can really do well. It's worked on my channel, pulling in ideas from other niches to work in this way. I don't know if that's something that they are doing, and I'm not talking about doing this for shorts. I mean, you can, I guess, totally can. But for regular videos, it's stuff that you can really kind of break it down. And I don't know if they've done it. I thought I saw something in the regular videos around ranking, but that's something that I normally would recommend when we talk about something that has so much lore and such a huge fan base that it can even be seen as controversial. Like, if you don't think that Darth Vader is the top bad guy, or whatever that you might have a controversial take that could do well. So you never know.
Yeah, really great stuff. Thank you for interacting with us over on social media. Let's get to some of these super chats. Thank you all for your super chats. Advice to grow my ASMR channel faster. That's a tough one, Jeff. ASMR is not my forte.
No, mine either. I'm not an ASMR viewer. One thing that I've seen, at least from the channels that I've worked with in the past, is that they focused on ASMR is very, very big, right? So ASMR is not the same on every single channel, and the ones that I've seen do well are the ones that have focused on a very particular type of ASMR viewer. So there are niches within ASMR. Some of it is food, some of it is massage, some of it there's different kinds, right? So that's one of the things where I would see what the niches are, which ones really speak to you that you could really focus on. That's really what I would do, is really just like anything else, just like the advice I would give to a lot of other channels, is focusing on what the viewers want from you. That's really what it comes down to. So hopefully that'll help, but it's going to be up to you to do that research and figure out what people want out of that specific niche of ASMR and really start to get after it.
Yeah. Let's see. Are music videos bad content?
Not necessarily, but I guess it depends on what they mean by music videos.
Yeah, if you're just taking music videos and putting them on your channel, that wouldn't work. That'd be bad. If you're taking a song and making your own music video, like your own video to the song, but it's like a song that has a bunch of copyright attached to it, that could be bad, you know, copyright strike or copyright claim on your video. If you're making music and you're doing a music video, that could be good, except for the fact that, like, if you're making an original song and no one's really heard of it before, how are you going to get people to watch in the first place? So you have that classic, like, music channel conundrum. So I would say you want to make it, oh, here's my original song. It sounds kind of like Calvin Harris. You know, I said DJ, and so I'm assuming, you know, EDM. So yeah, like, that could be one way to do it. But music videos, yeah, there can be, like, good kinds and bad kinds. I think you're muted.
Sorry, I said I agree.
What's your advice about naming the episodes of a running series? So we always say, like, oh, try to avoid putting episode number 1, 2, 3, 4 in your titles. Your description is a good place for it. I think for the people paying attention, if it's like towards the top of the description, like, that's a good place to keep track. A playlist can be great for keeping track of the episodes in the order they are. I wouldn't use the thumbnail for sure. That's very valuable real estate. And if you do decide, well, I got to put it, it's super, super relevant, make sure it's the very last thing in the title. And I would do as few characters as possible. EP1, for example, or PT1 for, like, part 1. I wouldn't go any further than that in terms of character length. If you feel like it has to be there. In a lot of cases, though, for the people following the series regularly, it's not needed.
Yeah.
You know?
Definitely
That's just my opinion.
Agreed.
All right. Timestamps on an hour-long video killing retention. Nah.
Nope. Yeah,
we don't think so.
We've done extensive testing on that. I've done extensive testing on that myself. And no, if anything, you think about it this way. Think about it less of it hurting your audience retention, and think about it how it improves viewer satisfaction and their experience, right? It's an hour-long video. A lot of people don't want to commit to an hour-long video to get the piece of information that they want out of your content. If that bothers you, tough. Put the timestamps in. Let them get the information that they want. It's going to get your video into their watch history. Then the next time you upload a video, odds are it's going to be suggested to them. So you have to think of it as a net positive. So for me, but here's the thing, even if it does hurt retention, maybe a little bit, in the grand scheme of things, making that viewer experience better is always going to be a win for you.
Yeah, they're going to remember that.
Yep.
Jeff knows what he's talking about. He streams a lot of his content, and then the stream lives on, gets way more views than it ever did live. And I think, Jeff, that's partly, you know, timestamps are part of that.
Oh yeah, huge. So like the live stream I did in October has 140,000 views at this point on replay. Timestamp the whole thing. It's like an hour and 40 minutes. You know how long it takes to timestamp a video that's an hour and 40 minutes long when each timestamp is like 2 minutes apart? It takes a long time. So it's a lot of work to write all that out. But people thank you. They thank you for that. And the video, even if it hurt retention, 140,000 views and climbing speaks for itself.
Dang. So there you go. How to increase my upload speed without losing quality. Also, new viewers. vidIQ Discord is great. People are super awesome. Thanks for the vidIQ Discord shout out. We do have a public Discord server. It is linked down below, vidiq.com/Discord. Love that someone, apropos of nothing, would just call that out. Just creators hanging out. It's not a link dump area. It's literally for people to talk about YouTube productively. So thank you. Glad you're enjoying that. So you want to increase your upload speed without losing quality. It's time to get a better internet package. Yay. There's not a lot of tips I have there.
Yeah, no, I mean, what they mean by upload speed is like how often they upload videos. Frequency is, I think,
Okay,
what they
I
mean
was
here.
just like, I went
Yeah,
straight to, because I live stream so much, I'm
it's
always
fine.
worried about this stuff. That's funny.
That's exactly what I thought when I first read it too. It's just wording, but I would say, if anything, if your workflow has gotten to the point where you can pump out videos very quickly for the ones you're already doing, and it's not costing you a ton of time to create and upload, then yeah, I'd say you're ready to increase speed. But don't do it like, don't think that you have to do it. That's the key, what I want to tell people, because some people think I have to do what I have to do to get to 3 videos a week, or to daily videos. You don't have to do that. I've seen people grow from slowing down.
Yeah.
So you don't have to speed it up if you don't have to. Only if you feel like you need to, like it's going to help. Maybe you're not moving fast enough. Cool. But that's the thing. I would say, if anything, you can probably sacrifice a little quality from upload speed if it's that important to you, but you have to experiment with it.
There you go. Can we give chat admin a hand? Yes. Thank you to our mods. Thanks to vidIQ team members helping out today in chat, keeping the peace. My channel is how-to reviews on tech that I own. Most viewed video is about a soundbar review. I don't have access to more soundbars or new tech. Any tips for making new tech videos without tech? I'll just let Jeff just take it away from here.
Yeah, Laron, I got you. So for Mr. Laron Henderson, so for a channel like this, right, it's about tech that you own. You are putting a limitation on yourself by limiting yourself to the things that you own, when billions of views are being had on tech YouTube on products that people are talking about that they don't have in their hands. Also known as speculative content. You could talk about stuff that you don't have if you're coming from a place of experience, right? Not only that, people have been making, like, so what the phone that's launching tomorrow in tech, right? Big, huge launch. Galaxy S23 from Samsung. Huge. People have been making videos about the Galaxy S23 for months. For months, right? Getting millions of views.
But Jeff,
they
it's
don't
not
have
out
it in
yet.
hand. Exactly. Don't put that limitation on yourself. Don't put that limitation on yourself. You can still talk about things even if you don't have them in their hands, if you're coming from a place of experience and knowledge, right? So if you have, reviewed a ton of different types of tech, you can talk about the other stuff even if you don't have it. So I just want to make that clear. Don't put that limitation on yourself.
Yeah. All right. Next up, here's just a super from Schleck Air. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Thank you. Question. I used to be a gaming channel. I changed to being a different type of channel. I hid the gaming videos. Was that a mistake? Would YouTube have only shared my videos to gamers if I kept them live?
Odds are. Yeah.
Yeah, odds are. So, because don't think of it as YouTube is like now confused or anything like that. So what would have happened is, let's say those videos were getting views today, right? Well, now you've changed topics to a different topic altogether. It still says gaming in your name, by the way, which I think will confuse new viewers. I would change that, but let's just assume you've changed that. You have people subscribing for gaming content, but now you're doing something completely different. That's going to be confusing. YouTube's going to try and like recommend those people your new videos. Hey, you like J Money, so here's a new video from them. It's not a gaming video, so they're not going to watch. So you did the right thing, in my opinion. The only thing I would have considered that as a mistake is if those videos were monetized and you were earning a little bit of like passive income off of those. I would have just started a new channel. If you're going to do something new anyway, you might as well start a new channel. Take everything you learned from the old channel, start fresh. But what's done is done, and I think you did the right thing. And I wouldn't worry too much.
Yep.
What can I do to get more viewers on a live stream?
You want to take that one, or I can take it? It's up to you.
We should both. I think we might have a couple things, because I've been seeing some stuff just in my own experiments that I find interesting.
Yeah.
Make more content would be the first thing. That is not live streams. You should do live streams, but do other stuff too. Don't just do live streams. Great thing you can do. Make shorts. I know it's like a broken record at this point, but hear me out. Make shorts. Take clips from your live streams, turn those into fun bite-sized shorts that stand on their own. I don't need to watch the live stream. I get everything that's happening in the short, right? So if you do that, that's good. While you're live, if that short is getting views, in the bottom corner, there will be a little icon that has your channel's avatar on it, and it'll be lit up red, and it'll tell people you're live. So if they're actively watching your shorts, which you've been uploading a ton of thanks to vidIQ and their fabulous advice, people are going to be like, oh, they're live right now. Click. That is, I think, the one circumstance where I've noticed that, like, I'm seeing more views on my own live streams, you know, and I think it is like the one time where if you do something excellent enough in shorts, people are willing to be like, okay, they're live right now. Like maybe I will get off shorts real quick and check them out. Because that's the strategy I'm trying. Jeff, I don't know if you've experienced trying this, but I'm noticing an uptick in live stream viewers.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, for me, it's a little bit different. Like the advice that I would give them is the same advice that I give people making regular videos. Topic, title, thumbnail. Don't be a lazy streamer. Yep. So you need to go in and have something worth talking about, right? So it shouldn't just be, oh, I'm going live. Like, no, you need to give them a little bit more than that, right? So bring a topic to the table that they want to watch, right? Something that's going to be interesting to your target audience. Come up with a good title, come up with a good thumbnail, come up with notes, talking points, things that you can hit. That way, when you go live, that live stream is going to get pushed out. It's going to get impressions. YouTube is going to test it. So you want to have a strong thumbnail and a strong title and a strong topic so that even if it's brand new people who've never seen you before are going to come in. The difference I get when I do a live Q&A stream where I might pull in maybe 80 to 120 concurrent viewers to where I do one like I just did this past weekend where it was a tier list for True Wireless Earbuds, the 5th version of it, and we had 250 concurrent. There's a huge difference there. And I brought in a lot of new people and it brought in a lot of new subscribers already because I took the time to create something that people want to watch that YouTube would push out and it had a good thumbnail and people clicked in. So you need to take it serious and treat it like a video. Make it something that people want to come and click into. If it's just a random, I'm live, you can't expect a lot of results out of that.
Yeah. So there you go. A couple different sides of that coin there. Let's do one more super before we get back to reviewing some channels. I'm starting a YouTube channel on WWE Games. Any tips? Play the most current one. You said games, so I'm just going to put that out there. Which games is the audience most excited about? You know, that's probably going to be the most current one. Cover any updates that happen. Don't just press record and do your thing. Like plan your videos. That's huge for gaming. All videos, obviously, but in terms of gaming, it's very tempting to just hit record and like start talking. Plan your videos. You know, try and tell a story if you can. Do your best to, you know, think about the title and the thumbnail ahead of time before you record anything. That's the first thing people are going to see. And when they click, what should be the first thing they hear? You know, so you want a strong hook. So all of those general YouTube advicey tips. In the context of this game, just make sure you're playing like the latest, greatest one. We got more supers we'll come back to. Thank you all. I want to show you real quick a couple things. Earlier, we were talking about community posts getting subs. I thought I'd pull this up. This was just in the last 28 days for us. You can see here, we've earned 837 subscribers just from our community posts in the last 28 days. Yep. If I recall, I've not even teased anybody about hitting the subscribe button. Sometimes I do that and it works. But this is without even like asking for subscribers with it.
Yeah. Yeah,
so
it's like passive almost, right?
Yeah.
Because it's not going to move the needle huge, but every subscriber counts, right? Mm-hmm. So why not take advantage of that? Because even I've seen it. Now, it's not huge. Like, let's say theoretically I gain 1,500, 2,000 subscribers a month, right? Out of those 1,500, 2,000, it could be like 40 or 50 coming from the community posts. Worth it. Because the amount of time it takes for you to make a community post to gain those 40, 50 subs, why not?
Right. So... yeah, just something I wanted to call out there. It's really cool. That's 837 people, real human people.
Yep.
So it's pretty awesome. And then earlier I teased I was going to talk about this. This is actually, no matter what level of vidIQ account you currently have, while this is in its trial period, you can check this out. This is our AI coach. So think ChatGPT, but trained as a YouTube coach. So if you want to continue getting your YouTube education, you know, figured out, you can hang out with this thing today and ask it whatever questions you'd like. Help it fix, you know, it can help you fix your titles. It can write a script for a video about a brand new WWE video game. And we'll see what it comes up with. You know, this is the planning process for my video. I'm going to make a video about a WWE game, the most popular one. Sure thing. Here's the script. Hey, everyone. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the newest WWE video game that just came out. I'm going to talk about the different features that make it unique from the other wrestling games and why it's worth checking out. I gave this thing nothing. I gave this thing nothing to work off of, and it's already giving me ideas. Oh, maybe I can make a video about the features and how this game is different from the last one. And I haven't even read the second paragraph yet. So these tools are very, very powerful. And again, you can try this out. If you do take advantage of that secret link I showed you earlier, which is in the description, you would have access to 50 daily ideas a day and our new customized ideas feature, where you can actually go in and get ideas that aren't just based off your channel, but ones that you kind of dictate. Otherwise, you can benefit from all these ideas that are catered to your channel and give you some view predictions. Just one of many, many tools we have at vidIQ. So there you go. Quick plug there for vidIQ. Check it out. Now I bet you're wondering, well, when the heck are they gonna check out another channel? Well, we're gonna have to do it randomly now because we're out of pre-selected channels. So be filling out the forms below. Now is your time to shine. It's the claw.
Clobbert is hungry.
It trembles in fear of your awesome channels.
That's right.
That's right. Something like that. We have 541 submissions on the non-gaming form. We have 505 submissions on the gaming form. So I'll just do 550 because I'm lazy. Follow pick number 120, and it's been a while. We'll go to the gaming form. It is going to be SHUBHRO Plays. I'm so sorry. Not sure how to say your name, but let's check it out. Let's see. 82 subscribers. They're doing gaming tips walkthrough. That's what it says in the banner. They're playing A Plague Tale. So this is a perfect example of what we were talking about just a little while ago during the super chat portion, when we were talking about part numbers and episode numbers and relying solely on those for your title and your thumbnail. Now, I always say these are bad because people who watch your videos, or YouTube recommends a video, right? Do they need to watch part 7 to understand to understand the series? Like, can they just jump in anywhere? That's what you want, right? You want them to jump in anywhere. Now, this is a playthrough where you're playing a game from beginning to end. So technically, yes, it does matter. If it matters, if you feel like it matters, do a better job still on your titles and your thumbnails. Because right now, the only thing I know about this video is that you played a game. What else is here for me? What else is the value? And if you're having trouble answering that question in the context of a playthrough of a game like this, that's because these types of videos are notoriously hard to rank for. The biggest reason being is that the barrier to entry on this content is super, super low. Anybody can pick up this game and just do an hour-long recording of them playing through a portion of it. There's not much to this. I don't know how much editing you've done. I don't know if you've done anything to kind of raise the bar in the content itself, but on the surface, if I was looking for like a series that I want to do for my channel and I like this game, like, oh, why don't I do that? I'll do a walkthrough of this. The barrier to entry is super, super low. And it just kind of feels like I can get this content anywhere, or I can get this content by playing the game myself. So the big walkthrough videos, it's hard to compete with the big channels that get this game early and they do their walkthrough ahead of time. It's just really, really difficult. So can you tell us anything else about this game that is a little more, there's a little shorter videos and something that's going to reach a wider audience? What are some of the glitches? What are some of the secrets? How do you get all the achievements? If you want to play this game, like, try to find a way to cover it back to back. And classic example here, I've seen channels like this a lot too. You kind of finish one game, you just kind of jump to the next one. And I think if I keep scrolling, there's God of War. So it's been a little over a year and you've tried a few different things, but for the most part, you've kind of fallen into that comfortable, like, okay, I'm just going to play a game for a while. But when you weren't doing that, Diecast, Dexter Explained, hopefully I'm reading these words right, magic tricks you need to win. So you made like a specific piece of value-driven content around this other game. It got over 3,000 views, but then you stopped. You eventually stopped covering it, and you switched topics entirely. Like, this is a way different game you're playing now. So there's a lot of mistakes that were made, like at the beginning stages of your channel, but it's not too late. Try to find a game that you are obsessed with, one that you love and that you know everything about, and start giving some beginner tips. Start at beginner tips and work your way up to like intermediate and more advanced tips. But like start to bring value to the community of a game, a group of people who like this game. Those would be like my general gaming tips. Of course, I do have a video linked down below. There's a section in our description about growing a gaming channel. The very first one there is our latest and greatest how to grow a gaming channel, updated for 2023. So please do check that out because I go over a lot more reasoning as to why I've given some of the advice I've just given.
Yep. And then just one thing to also reiterate, and we have to say this in every stream, is Dan is not telling you to not play the games you want to play. What Dan is telling you is to control what games you record and put onto this channel. That's it. You can still play all the games you want to play, but what goes on this channel, you really need to make a strategic decision about which community you want to serve with your content and get after it.
Yep. I love a lot of games, but I'm not going to play all of them on one channel. It's going to be impossible. You're all here to grow an audience, right? You're here to grow a community of people who rally around your content. It's really hard to do that if you keep switching topics, because you're going to keep attracting different viewers and you're never going to get that snowball effect we're trying to get you for growth.
Exactly.
So there you go. There is I don't know why I'm trying to say the name again. I can't pronounce it. I've already proven that.
SHUBHRO would be my guess, but I'm not sure.
Yes, but best of luck to you. You got this. Please don't give up. And shorts, do shorts as well. That's what I'm prescribing. All right. We'll take a look at the next channel, a non-gaming channel. 259. And it's going to be NuHurizon C8. They're doing Corvette Prod Rev. So product reviews for Corvettes, for Corvette owners. One would assume, one would imagine.
I like it.
Yeah.
See what we got.
Let's see. Unboxing and review. Paragon LED grill light. Okay, so yep.
Nice.
That tracks.
I like it.
All right, next. No.
Actually, let's go back up. Let's go back up to the top real quick.
Okay.
Okay. Let's use product reviews. Okay, cool. Nice. I like that we're getting the value proposition right up front, and we're getting that. So we're doing an unboxing review on LED grill lights. There's carbon fiber after 2 years. What that looks like. It's useful content. Z06 on a track. Racing pros give their thoughts on the new Z06. Okay. Not bad. Thumbnails look pretty good as well, at least on this latest one. The one where they did the E-Ray versus Z06 with the logos. I think that one's okay. I don't know about those black blocks around the the logos. I would definitely recommend, if you wanted to use those logos, I would use something like remove.bg or Canva to remove the background on those logos. And, maybe put a drop shadow behind them, something like that to kind of clean them up a little bit. And also really, really think, do you really need to be in that thumbnail? Or could it really have been a thumbnail of the E-Ray? You know what I mean? Something that's really going to grab their attention, because if I'm interested in the new Corvette E-Ray, I wouldn't click on your face. I'd click on a picture of the Stingray. So if I'm searching that and a thumbnail comes up with a picture of the Vet versus your face, I'm clicking on the Vet. No offense, but that's just how that works.
Yeah.
So I just want something I want you to keep in mind. If it's about the product, let it be about the product.
Yeah, the Corvette is not the star of this thumbnail. But it did pretty well, which tells me it could have done even better.
There's no reason why they can't change it and have it do better.
Mm-hmm.
So, yep.
Yeah. After 2 years, what carbon fiber looks like on a C8 Corvette. See, another example of like, not a terrible thumbnail, but in practice, too complicated for what you're trying to say. We have too many elements. Carbon fiber, the word wear, which is already kind of in the title, I get what you're saying. Your wear and tear, right? I would get rid of that. Just showing the side-by-side of the two pieces of carbon fiber with the green and the red, that's all you needed in this thumbnail. That's the whole thumbnail. Literally
all you needed. Yeah. I completely agree.
Yeah, there's a lot, like, I can tell it's carbon fiber by looking at it, and the word wear is confusing. So, and you being in there look at just a still pulled from your video, also confusing. Just simplify it.
Yeah. Completely agree. That's one of the things where for NuHurizon C8, just think about this. You don't have to be in every thumbnail, man. Like, and you're
They're
not
not.
in every thumbnail, but still, in some of
Yeah.
these, it feels like you're forcing yourself into the thumbnail where you just don't belong. So it just kind of doesn't make sense. So that's something I want you to think about. You don't have to be in every thumbnail, and you're not. But just to be clear, some of these it would actually make sense for you to not be in them. Let the thumbnail tell the story of what your of the goal, what the topic of the video is. And it can definitely work. Like the one I really like here is that Borla ATAC C8 exhaust. All you need to know, and it's literally a close up on the exhaust tips where you can see the Borla logo. Like to me, perfect. Like there's so.
And I would be looking at these videos too and trying to pick apart other reasons why they have thousands of views and some of your videos have hundreds of views. It's gonna sometimes you just get the right moment, all the pieces fall together, and you find a really good piece of content. And it's hard to recapture lightning in a bottle, but you have enough consistency here where like you have 3 in a row that have thousands of views. Where I'm like, okay, like you were on a run there for a minute, you know. Keep going, keep and don't get too discouraged if your next video doesn't do that. But I'm just saying you should definitely consider. I'm going to lower my mic a little bit. You should definitely consider like just going back to some of these videos and go, all right, why didn't this one get what the other ones did? Thanks for the tips. Definitely been trying to experiment between having me in the thumbnail or not. Okay,
Nice.
awesome. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what we love to see. And when you're going to do an experiment, and this goes for everybody, commit, right? Commit. So there's a lot of people who do like a one-off and then either it worked or it didn't. And then they just like jump away from it. Well, like you didn't give it a chance. So, but I love to see that. I love to see the fact that it's a work in progress. So, yeah, definitely keep doing that, man.
Yeah, keep looking for clues, figuring out like with some of these you know, higher performing videos. This is great though. I mean, this is really, really cool. And like we saw a car channel earlier that I felt like niched down a little too much, you know. But I mean, Corvette enthusiasts, this is a big community. And yeah, I think you're in a really, really good spot. Look at some other Corvette channels too. See what they're doing with their titles, their thumbnails, and their topics. You know, what can you learn from them?
That's literally what I'm doing. I'm going to be starting another channel based around a Camaro community. So not a Corvette, but a Camaro community. I'm going to be doing something very similar. And that's literally the phase I'm in right now is research.
Nice. So there you go. Thank you for submitting your channel. Hopefully you found some value in that. And we'll move on to the next channel, which will be a gaming channel. Number 99. Oop.
Uh-oh. You good?
Yep. I'm just confusing myself. They call themselves a Let's Play channel. Let's see. I'm seeing a lot of shorts, which is good. Love that. Thousands of views on those. Talking about the Mario movie, I think. And then we have the videos themselves. 20 hours ago, 1 day ago. So they are pretty committed to making videos. Sometimes I like to look on the forum and see what they said. They do feel as though they make more long form videos, like primarily than shorts. And we have some live streams. We have a couple of live streams. Not what I was like, not that I was expecting, like, because I'm seeing Mario Kart and stuff. Oh, there's Phasmophobia. Okay. So, couple of things going on here. You have, I think, a few different audiences you're bobbing and weaving between. This is exactly what we were talking about before with like, you don't have to record every game you own and put it on your channel. I definitely did that. I have experience with this. Didn't work. So do you want to grow an audience around people who like Mario Kart and Mario kind of colorful, fun games like that? Or do you want to grow an audience around horror games and that are a little more scary and intense? Or grounded, whatever that is. You know, I don't know what kind of game this is, but maybe, you know, Mario Party comes back into the fray here. These are way different audiences that you're catering your content to. And it looks like you're having a lot of fun, and I encourage you to do that for as long as you need to do that. But in the context of like, I'm going to go to vidIQ, have my channel reviewed, see what they have to say, our advice would be it's time to pick a lane, just to make a Mario Kart pun. Pick a lane. Try to figure out, okay, which of all the things you've done here, what was your favorite thing? What was the thing you got the most enjoyment out of? And then start doing your research. What kinds of videos could you make on that topic? Because that's going to be a huge, huge help for you. I mean, you've got so many different games here. Your views are kind of like hitting and missing here and there. It looks like your Mario Kart Double Dash content actually does do better than some of your other stuff. So is there something there? Could you be making more Mario Kart Double Dash content? Could you then go into like the secrets, the tips and tricks for getting better at the game? Could you compare Mario Kart Double Dash to Mario Kart 8? Like, what are some things you can do? Like, could you be a Mario Kart channel? Because you could absolutely be an entire channel dedicated to one game like that. But I would say even if you're playing Mario Kart, there's definitely a Venn diagram of people who also like Super Smash and other, Mario games. But I don't know how far that reaches into this category, the horror game category. So that's kind of my first impressions here. And then your shorts seem to be way more personal, like just you sitting there giving your take on things. You're getting thousands of views with this. Like people like what you have to say. So you could absolutely do this. And I still feel like it's in the context of what's going on your channel because you are doing Mario stuff and you're also talking about the Mario movie. I think there's an overlap there a little bit. So that's cool. That's cool to see. Keep doing the shorts. I would continue doing, like, find the ones that got the most views and then continue doing ones like this. That's your ticket there. But video wise, long form videos, I would focus up a little bit.
Yeah, I totally agree. That's the thing we have to watch out with when it comes to gaming channels is a lot of them turn into dumping ground channels. Mm-hmm. And you can't expect to grow a channel and when you treat it like it's just a dumping ground for whatever you feel like putting up. I'd rather not put up a video than put up a video that isn't targeted at my goal, right? And that starts with actually setting the goal of what it is that you want from the channel. It could be that they don't have that. And then secondarily, one of the biggest things that's really, really telling here is the channel banner makes no sense. It makes no sense. If it's a gaming channel, what is happening here? What is happening
everywhere?
You're not giving me anything here. So what I would want you to do as a little bit of homework is I want you to tell me what the value proposition of your channel is in less than 5 words.
Yeah.
And that's what your channel should be. It should be, if it's 3 words, if it's 4 words, if it's 5 words, what are you giving me as a viewer? I don't need to see 3P's media on the banner. I need to see what it is that you're going to give me as a viewer. That's your homework.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's a big shift. We've just recommended a pretty radical change for your channel. Keep doing what you're doing if you want to. Take all the time you need. But yeah, focusing up is going to be a strategy. Also, one final note here for anybody. I feel like the advice used to be upload like as much as you can, just post, never stop posting. Today feels like YouTube has moved away from quantity. YouTube is becoming more and more and more and more of a place of quality. And I know when it comes to shorts and the sheer amount of them that there are, and some of them are garbage, some of them are amazing, like you might think, well, no, YouTube wants more content. It's definitely quantity. YouTube wants a good quantity of quality content. Quality stuff, cream is going to rise to the top. Like you need to be making quality content. So if that means scaling back your upload schedule so that you can do a few things, skill up, strategize, research, you're going to get more views in the end, even though you're uploading less videos, because you're going to be doing that research. You're going to be giving yourself the tools you need to make sure that next video gets to the people you want it to get to. So don't be afraid to take a step back and go for quality. It's great to do high volumes of quantity at the start of your YouTube journey when you're just trying to figure things out and you're trying to figure out editing and your voice, you're trying to find your voice. You should do massive amounts of content, but this channel already has massive amounts of content under its belt. So it's time to take a step back, focus on quality. And I promise you, you will get way more views that way. And then you can try and tailor your upload schedule from there. But don't hold yourself to like, oh, I told myself I was going to do 4 videos a week, so I have to do it. No, if you need a break, take a break. You can do that. YouTube will recommend your next video whenever it's ready. It's okay. Take a break. Okay, we have some supers. Importance of keywords. I seem to be struggling to connect my description to my keywords. To connect your description to your keywords. Maybe they're talking about our tools, but that shouldn't be a struggle.
Yeah, that shouldn't be a struggle at all. It just depends on what it is that you're talking about. you know, whatever the video topic is, that's going to be your keyword, right? So like if my video is going to be about a iPhone 13, right? That's what my video is about. That's my keyword, iPhone 13. So in my video description, I'm going to find a human way of putting that into the video description. So hopefully that's what they mean, or they're just not wording it correctly, wording their question correctly. But I don't see why there would be a struggle of putting keywords into your description. I don't understand how that could be a struggle. Our tool actually makes it easier.
Yeah, if you have our tools downloaded and you've authenticated your channel and you've got full access like that, it should make it really easy to pick the keywords you've used in your description and use them in your tags and vice versa, just while you're editing your video on YouTube. I would say keywords are important. It's good to know what's trending. It's good to know what people are typing into search. But at the end of the day, don't forget, you are to title your videos for humans. You are to title them in such a way that a person reads it and they understand exactly what the content is. If you title just for a robot, for a computer, you're going to lose the click every single time. So title for people. That's the most important thing you can do. Keywords are great. It's good to kind of use them as a baseline of like, okay, this is a popular keyword or keyword phrase people are using a lot of. I'm going to use it in this context of my title. And it doesn't need to be verbatim. YouTube's very, very smart.
Yep.
Do uploading multiple shorts within hours apart on the same day hurt views on each video? I don't know.
I haven't seen it. I haven't seen that be the case. And we've had channels that have uploaded, you know, we're doing, you know, 10, 15, 20 per day. And I haven't seen it hurt anything, assuming you're not putting notifications on. Whatever you do, don't turn on notifications for that stuff.
Right.
Because YouTube's only going to push out 3 of those anyway. So every 24 hours, so it doesn't really matter. But we've never seen that. But if anything, I would tell you to experiment with what you're doing. I don't know how many you're doing per day. I know people that have been doing 3 per day for a long time. It's working quite well for them. Some people only do one a day to let it breathe. So it's really about you experimenting to see what cadence works for your lifestyle and what seems to be working well for your channel. Because if you're doing, let's say 3 a day and you're not seeing huge movement, and then you speed up and you see a movement, or you slow down and you see a movement, then that'll be the way that you'll know what's a better cadence for you.
In my testing of shorts, I've seen this very recently. I posted a new short, and at the same time I posted that short, suddenly my old short, one of my old shorts, blew up. It was already doing really well. This was one of my more popular shorts. And I'm looking at that and I'm thinking to myself, why did that happen? I just posted something brand new. Why did this blow up? And my theory is that a bunch of new people clicked on the new short. And because they watched it all the way through, maybe they hit like, whatever they did, YouTube is like, you like that, huh? Well, this guy has this other short that did really well. Maybe you'll like that too. So I think the new short was recommending the old short. So by that logic, I would wonder if you were to post another new short just an hour later, like right on top of that, would that nice cycle of recommendations be a little bit interrupted because now YouTube has a different short to put in front of them? Yeah, maybe it's not as good. So now people aren't watching it all the way through. Now the recommendations aren't being pulled back to your old stuff. I don't know. That's where the let it breathe concept comes from. But that's why it's different for everybody, and that's why you should test it, because I don't think there's a right answer here. I think you could get away with testing it out and finding a cadence that works for you. I would prioritize your workflow. Can you afford to post 3, 4, 10 shorts a day? If you have the capacity to do that, if that's something you're able to do, then cool. I like to chill, so I don't like to post a whole lot. So I like to break mine up as much as I can for optimal relaxation, because I already do a lot of things. So it does come down to like your personal life too. I'm a game developer looking to reach 4,000 watch hours, almost 2,000. Congrats, and can't apply yet for the YPP because of this. Any advice? I do game dev challenge videos, typically making VR games. It might just take some time, more videos, right, Jeff? Like,
yeah, really, videos is going to help. Live streaming definitely can help. If you have something worth live streaming about, that definitely helps. So I know that's a thing that a lot of the creators that I've been working with tend to do. You know, they tend to set up a weekly live stream where they stream for 1 or 2 hours, and it really does bump up their watch time. You know, you have to think about it in that sense of you know, you get 10 people watching, you know, for 1 hour. It's quite a bit of hours. So, but you've got to keep them entertained. But that's one way you can do it. But videos are always going to help. Evergreen content's always going to help. But yeah, it's really staying consistent with it. It just takes time.
We can go back to the conversation of skilling up too and say that maybe you can practice storytelling. Can you take, let's say you're making 5-minute videos, can you make 10-minute videos? But to do that, you got to get them to watch the full 10 minutes, right? That's where you develop yourself as a storyteller. So it's about making game development videos, but you really like tell a story, like how this project came to be, and you do a lot of like fun, cool things in the middle of it. I think if you get really good at storytelling, that increases your watch time. You know, plain and simple. But partly becomes skilling up. Either you're going to do that or you're going to start live streams. You got to do something to get those hours up. And so, you know, hopefully one of those two things at least helps you. Hope you're having a good day. Just signed up for the $1 boost. Hey, thank you, Epic Developer. Appreciate you. Enjoy your boost. Hopefully you like it. Let us know. We have another super here from Schleck. Thank you so much. And then Pocket Mark says, thank you for all your help. You provide us smaller channels. How do I come up with new video ideas without feeling like I'm copying other creators? Well, I wouldn't worry about copying other creators.
Yeah, that's a mindset question right there. So just like earlier with the creator who only wanted to review tech that he has his hands on. You're putting a limitation on yourself. So unless you're copying their entire script, their exact thumbnail, their exact title, that's where it starts kind of, you know, getting into the levels of plagiarism at that point. But your voice is your voice. Your perspective is your perspective. You can still have a similar idea to talk about a similar topic, but you put your own angle and your own twist on it with your own voice. You're not copying. So that's really a mindset thing.
If another creator has kicked off some kind of thing that everyone's really excited about, or a bunch of creators are rallying around a trend, jump on it. Like, avoiding trends because you're worried about copying fellow creators is how you stay small. Jump on those trends. You're always, like Jeff said, you're always going to end up bringing your unique perspective to it. Don't go out of your way to copy everything they're doing. What's your interpretation of this trend? Now you get to benefit off a similar title and thumbnail, but when they get into the video, now it's this person. Now it's Pocket Mark talking about the thing that I'm already really invested in because I just got done watching 3 other videos about it because I'm obsessed with this topic right now. Like, that's what it's all about. A trending topic is trending for a reason. People want more of it. So don't be afraid. But if you want to like find some more original ideas, I would suggest taking a day away and from making videos to brainstorm videos. I like to go for walks. I find just getting away from my computer, like resetting my brain, helps a lot. When you're just looking for some inspiration to create something new, that's also completely on the table, but it just takes getting in the right mindset. Like, creating is hard. Like, I feel like a lot of people watch our content and they want to find like the secret sauce, right, Jeff? But it is at the end of the day like a thing that we're doing. We're like, we are creators, and that like word I think is something we just kind of throw around, but create is creative. We are creative people, and being creative is not a switch you can turn on and off. Like, you got to be in the right moment. You got to feel it, you know? And sometimes I think people are so obsessed with the grind of YouTube, they forget like they got to take a step back and like live their life a little bit so they can reset their brain. And that always helps. That always helps me, taking a step away and coming back refreshed. So there you go. I'm a horror Let's Play, I'm assuming channel. My shirts are doing very well with viewers and subs. I'm guessing shorts. But this isn't translating over my long form videos. Any advice? Keep going.
Yeah. Keep targeting your shorts at the same target audience and topics that you're doing in your long form videos. That's really what it comes down to, is really making sure that whether it's live stream, whether it's video, whether it's a short, whether it's a community post, whether it's a story, it doesn't matter. It should always be aimed at the exact same viewer. It should still be relevant to that same viewer. That's the key.
Yeah. That's really it. And don't be too discouraged. We said this earlier, you might not have been here for it, but don't be too discouraged if you're not getting views on your long form videos, but you happen to get a bunch of views from shorts. You're still a YouTuber. That still counts. Shorts views are still people watching your content and enjoying themselves. Not all of them are going to want to watch your long form videos. Keep going anyway.
Yep.
Keep testing out different video ideas, you know, and enjoy the fact that, you know, you're getting a lot of views on the shorts. It's really, really good. Beginner advice needed. How do I become a successful gamer / mental health advocate / storyteller with my channel? I want to bring hope to theirs. I don't know what that means. But struggle because I'm not what they call a normal person.
So I'm going to stop them real quick here. And I get where they're coming from. And it's actually a very noble goal for what they want to do. More than anything else, I don't want them to lose themselves when they go through this process. But first and foremost, gamer / mental health / anytime you start putting slashes in and they're completely different things, it's not going to work. Yeah. It's not going to work. Bottom line, it's not going to work. So what you really need to do is focus on one of those things and building that first. And then once you've built a community that cares, then start branching out into the other things that you want to do, but you have to earn that.
Yeah.
You know, starting off and you're aiming at all these different groups of people, it's a formula for you to be spinning your tires. I'm saying it can't work, but it's going to take you a lot longer to make it work. So I would want you to focus on one of those things. And above anything else, always remember to remain true to yourself. Because, you know, when you say I'm not a normal person or what people would call a normal person, trust me, I can relate. I am so far from a normal person. And the key to really drawing people in is to just be your authentic self, because people will gravitate towards your quirks.
What I would say is that storyteller is on your list, and I think that any type of content you make could involve storytelling. In order to do that, though, skill up. Take a storytelling course through something like Skillshare or something like that, and learn that way. Like literally, like take some time away from YouTube and like learn storytelling techniques so that you can bring them to whatever type of videos you end up making. I think if you want to be all of these things in one channel, you are gonna struggle with that. You can be a gaming channel that from time to time advocates for mental health practices. So you could just bestow upon your audience of gaming viewers, hey guys, like take some time today, you know, like you know, really like be, you know, be in the moment, whatever kind of mental health advice you want to give, you can interject that a little bit, but you're not making mental health videos at that point. You're still making gaming videos. It just happens to be part of your personality that you are an advocate for mental health. Or you could do the opposite. You could be a mental health channel, and that's that. Now you're not making gaming videos, but from time to time, when you're talking about the things you like to do to relax, I like to play my favorite game, you know, Mario 64. You can take your personality and interweave it here, but you still want to make sure you target videos to one audience. And then, like Jeff said, you grow and grow and grow that audience. Maybe one day you can get away with taking your mental health channel and saying, I actually am going to do a live stream today. We're going to play my favorite game. We're going to unwind together. Check it out. And by that point, you might have so many viewers, so many loyal fans that, yeah, you won't get as many views as you normally would on the mental health content stuff, but you won't care because you're just having fun at that point. So, yeah. Best of luck to you. Let's see. We have another one here. Any advice for opening 30 seconds of comedy skits? The opening 30 seconds of a comedy skit. Watch comedy skits on Shorts, or TikTok, and note the ones that you find the funniest and learn from that. Because I think what you're asking is, like, how do I become a better, deliverer of comedy? Like, how do I become a better comedian? And that's, again, like, not really advice YouTube guys like us can really give you, like, very directly. But we can say is that you should, again, take a course on, or maybe take an improv class or something and try to get better at delivering comedy.
Yeah.
Take an improv class is not YouTube advice. If you're trying to do improv on your channel, then having a background in it would help.
Yeah, agreed. But research is key. It's literally the same advice that we'll give to a lot of people because it actually applies. It's the advice that actually helped me the most, is researching what works and what doesn't work in the space that you want to be in. So whether it's TikTok, whether it's Shorts, whether it's Reels, or even long form comedy videos, look at how they're opening those videos. If you're doing stand-up or comedy skits or whatever, you need to be researching what's really working and what's pulling a lot of views to get ideas. Because you'll start noticing as you're watching these different successful channels that there'll be patterns that you start recognizing in how they do things, how they start off, how they move through the first 30 seconds. And that'll start giving you an idea of what actually keeps people there.
Yeah. How to convert viewers into subscribers. Make excellent content.
Yeah, value. I mean, when you ask a basic question like that, it's really about value. That's really what it comes down to. So are you giving the viewer something for the time that they're giving you watching your video? If the answer is no, then it is what it is. So you have to make sure that it's valuable enough that you're saving them time or saving them money or helping them with something. That's really what it comes down to. Value. Are you giving them something for the time that they're giving you?
My shorts seem to spike and then get very slowly get views,
Yep.
3K views in 2 hours, then plateau.
Yeah.
It's perfectly normal.
That's totally normal. That's how YouTube works.
Yep. My theory here is that it takes a minute. Your shorts reach the shelf. You know, YouTube's trying it out. The goal you want, though, is after that initial like spike and then plateau, does the video come back? And if it's been a few days and nothing's happening, keep making shorts. But just note, like, okay, that one didn't do as good. Like, if it doesn't seem to resurrect at any point, that means it hit its ceiling pretty early. So keep working on making better quality shorts from that point on.
Yeah. YouTube tests very quickly now with shorts. So it isn't like it was in the old days. You just got to get used to it. And if it's not hitting, move on to the next one. Quit worrying about this one that plateaued. Move on to the next one.
Yep. And then how long could it take for a channel to grow? I worked with a channel that got its first 1,000 subscribers in 3 days after its first video, and then got monetized, hit all its monetization goals in the first 10 days after that same first video.
Yep.
I've had my own channel. It took 6 months to get to that point. So it depends.
Yeah.
It really depends on the quality of content. It depends on just what you know about YouTube and how you're putting it all to practice. But we've kind of given today like the full book on growing a channel. Like, Jeff, this was a great live stream. Like, yeah. I feel like we could just package this up and just delete all of our videos and put this on the channel and walk away.
Yeah, no, but I totally agree. It can take as much time as it needs to take. It took me a year to hit that 1,000 subscribers. I had the watch hours. Like, I was through the roof on watch hours, but it took me a year. I know guys that taken 2 years, 3 years even. You know, and some guys that can do it super, super quick. So there is no right or wrong. There really isn't. It's more than anything else is to focus on who you want to make videos for and delivering value to them, and the rest of it will fall into its place. So yeah.
If I don't have an American/British accent, should I use a quality AI voice or my own voice? My channel is fitness tips. I use stock videos plus voiceover. I don't think the accent necessarily matters. If you find that it's hard to understand for some people, I mean, you might look into that, but because there's some good AI voices now. But you could also get a voice actor. You could like go on like Fiverr or Upwork and like hire a voice actor.
Yeah.
So there's a few options there. And then we'll make this the last one. I saw another channel I like to watch spam a bunch of keywords in the description. Is this a good idea? It's not. You're not supposed to do that.
Cool. That's
cool. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow. Look at your clocks, subtract 2 hours from them, because that is the time. Tomorrow, we're going to be live again doing video reviews. We're going to dive into your actual videos, give you advice on production, give you advice on having a strong hook, and it's going to be awesome. We've given a lot of tips here today. If your channel did not make it onto the screen, there's a good chance that there was something in here for you anyway. So we hope you were taking notes. This will remain on the channel after it's over, so you can always go back if you need to. We'll have chapters up eventually. And if you're wondering if you've ever been audited or reviewed before, we now have a list down below. It's pretty recent. It doesn't cover like the last many of our live streams. It's the last handful, but it'll continue to be updated from here on out of channels we've reviewed before. So if you're wondering, have I ever been reviewed? Check that list in the description below. Check out our deal on vidIQ, the secret link. Tell nobody about it. And we'll see you tomorrow. That's it. We're done. I'll look for the outro, but you guys can leave now. I don't know where it is, Jeff. Oh, I found it. Nope, that's not it. That's the intro. That would have been confusing. I found it.